Yo, it's Flo here, my boys. What's going on? So it's pretty. As my poor attempt at TBMB's rapping that he's famously known for around the site now. Obviously joining me today, TBMB.
I appreciate the love and support. Thank you very much. Buy my not so completed album. Alright, we are finally back after about 3 months due to, I got glandular fever, he got tonsillitis, and a lot of laziness and drunkenness in between. So we are back into it to do a little preview. Let's kick it off.
Yeah, since the last time we did it, TBMB has quit 4 times, been sacked once, and tied off about 400 times. So it's been a good break.
Yep, I've quit and been sacked more times than Stipe's updated his list.
Ouch.
Boom! Political commentary.
Update your list, fuckhead.
Alright, let's go. Carlton and GWS.
Yes, good game here. In the off-season, Carlton obviously took over from Eddie, who had a very old list at the time. He got rid of all them for picks, and then pretty much traded a fair few of those picks back out for players. He's moving along alright. This is obviously going to be an easy game against Greater Western Sydney.
If they even turn up.
Shabby hasn't been on the line really at all in the off-season, which is poor form, and he's gone under the radar a bit, if I'm honest, because of his lack of commitment to the side. Carlton easy for me this weekend. Too many strong players. Greater Western Sydney are a bit too young, and a lot of their players aren't in their respective sides. 22.
Yep, agreed. As all the project teams, we'll call them, there's a lot of players who are probably not going to be getting a game this weekend. Definitely looking towards the future with Shabby. That's if he's even around for much longer. The obvious pressures of going up against such an illustrious side as Gold Coast has gotten to him, and he's taken an indefinite hiatus. Eddie's done pretty well this off season. I reckon him and your mob, as much as that pains me to say, are probably going to be the two that edge out me and Gav for the final spot, which sucks, but nonetheless, yous have taken over better lists than the one that I had to build. So, congratulations to Conker. Yeah, whatever. Shut up. We haven't done this in a while. I'm a bit rusty. Congrats to Conker. He took over what was definitely an aging list. Eddie was pretty much the type to just trade for the season, just get it through that season, try and get a respectable spot and no real direction. So Conker's kind of come in and given them taken the age down but kept them competitive, which isn't easy to do. So well done to him for that. Shabby, if he was still around, probably one of the better coaches on the site. Probably one of the least funny, but pretty decent in terms of his trading. But I don't think has he even made a single trade this preseason?
I have no idea. Probably not.
Well, what can you do?
Maybe up to the draft time, but definitely not this year.
Yeah, he's got a young side though, so hopefully some of those kids that he drafted are gonna come along nicely. I've just had a thought that we haven't done this when the teams have come out. We're a bit premature. Alright, you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, we'll move along to Sydney versus Melbourne.
Right,
Shammy has posted on the wall that he's hoping Sydney don't have a coach so he can have a win. But Shammy, we'll just let you know right now, mate, you're not going to win this game. Sydney are too strong all around the ground. Better captain options. I think it's going to be a bit of a walk in the park this week for them.
I have been one of Shammy's supporters, but I don't think that he's going to come too close in this one. Snappy built a quality list in terms of points this year, but in terms of his trading of late, it's obviously he quit the side because of his health issues. So if he actually had have really sticked around and really stuck to the premiership race, I reckon they would have been a lot further ahead. But they definitely don't have too much to worry about in this one. Snappy did a good job. Esky hopefully takes over and keeps up the good work here. He said he's not going to go the youth path, which is good. So hopefully he takes a real shot at the flag this year. And Shammy, been one of his supporters over the pre-season. Think he's got a good list, but don't think he's got much hope in this one.
Yeah, don't think he has much hope. But yeah, his list is great. Under 25, pretty much, most of them. Got a lot of potential future midfield youngs. It just really depends on how many of those players are going to take the next step for me. Shuey, Ward, Hill, Sloan, Dangerfield. Yeah, I don't know if all of them are going to become elite, but definitely a couple of them will.
Yeah, for sure. And even lower class guys that not lower class, but the next tier down, I'd say, have a chance of making it. Like Magna, shown a lot over the preseason. Carlisle, I'm not really sure what the hype is there. I had him for ages, and everyone was just clamoring over him, but he hasn't really done a massive deal. So hopefully, guys like that step up for him, and he's got a real premiership shot in the next couple of years, premiership window.
Yeah. All right, we'll move along to Hawthorn and Essendon. The flag favourite, I would say, Buff.
Yep.
Up against JM. Pretty much had completely different off seasons. Buff traded hard like he always does. Brings in the best players in the comp. JM's one trade for the year. Been very quiet, fairly youthful. But I reckon he's actually a fair bit behind what people think he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes the door for like an 8 or 9 spot.
I wouldn't say 8 or 9. Put your tiny teddies away, you flog. I would.
No, I'm serious. Have a look at his list.
No, I wouldn't say that he'd be 8 or 9th, but I reckon 6th place, something like that would be good for him. Be a good result. I think Richmond and Melbourne have both passed him a bit. Had he have kept up the activity during the off season and kept trading, then probably would have been a different story. But I think he's just been too quiet, and I don't think he'll drop out of the 8 or even out of the 6. But yeah, definitely the top 6, the lock-ins as people have referred to them, have definitely gone past him a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. He won't miss the 8, but he has got a few loopholes in his 22. You know, Leroy Jetta, Brennan Whitecross, Barco, Scott Selwood, Harper, Diopolo. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these middle range teams knock him off.
I understand. Like during the year, there might be a couple of upsets with him, especially with such a young side. Inconsistency comes into it a little bit, but I think when it comes down to it, he'll finish a ways ahead of them. You're only saying that because you are one of those middle tier sides, you flog.
Yeah, West Coast will probably beat him. So just putting that out there right now.
Modesty is overrated.
Better list.
Fair enough. Your own call.
Just a good episode. But Buff's gonna smash this in. He at one stage this year, I reckon he'll beat Stoney's record for the highest score. Wouldn't surprise me. I like his midfield tactic that he's going with, very much to what I've gone with in Supercoach this year. The points are in the midfield and he's stocked up on them, so I reckon it's pretty clever.
Yeah, his midfield is probably the best since there was this awesome Fremantle coach a couple of years ago, had just an amazing midfield, and yeah, I guess he's got the best one since that legendary coaching figure. But he has got. Say again.
Ever played finals?
Did that Fremantle coach ever play finals?
Yes.
He played one final. Didn't do too well. I think he lost to DTM, which is a little bit saddening. But yes, that Fremantle coach. Say again.
Must have been a fucking awesome midfield then.
Yep, losing to DTM made me made the legendary figure, of course, feel pretty bad about himself. But nonetheless, we'll move on. I reckon from that. I don't see this ending well for him. Dug himself a bit of a hole there. Alright.
Move on to Adelaide and Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
Gav versus RLL. RLL obviously second favourite to win the flag. A few steps behind Buff. He won't admit it, but he is. It'll be a good game, but you know, RLL's strength in his side all around the park is going to be too good for Gav. But I've liked what Gav's done lately. He brings in some good players and he gets rid of them. His side's just like a yo-yo. I reckon it's up and down, up and down. So, yeah, I expect a pretty good year from Adelaide. Might even push for the 8, maybe.
No chance. I think it's overrated as could possibly be. Listen, I know I'm going to cop it just because I have the bet with him or whatever, but his side is ridiculously overrated. Look at some of these players. David Hill, most people have agreed, is gone. Joel, is that Joel or James McDonald he's got? I'm guessing it's Joel.
Yeah, it's Joel.
He played, like 10 games last year? He's woeful. Clinton Young, woeful. Mark McVeigh, worse than woeful. Stephen Milne, you've got a rapist on your side, Gav. Lift your game, son. He's like 32 or 33 this year. Going nowhere. Guerrero got rid of him for a reason. I think there's a lot of holes in this team that people are going to realise pretty soon. And I think a lot of people will be surprised where they end up this year. Just wait for it.
Yeah. And I reckon David Zaharakis, highly overrated, and should look to move him onto West Coast as soon as he can.
I was going to say, get fucked. What are you going for there?
To recap, easy win for the Doggies this week to start their premiership campaign.
Yep. Big Edward Flog should rate this in.
He should rape it in, the big flog.
Yep.
That was quite funny last night talking to him on MSN actually.
Yeah, well, let's probably not bring up that little episode. Yeah, look, I reckon I was a little bit behind Buff. To be honest, I think you'd struggle to find anyone who wouldn't be hoping that Buff wins it this year. He's had enough cracks at it. I think he's well due to finally get him at the post this year. But it'll be a good one. I reckon these two in the grand final.
Yeah, so do I. And we've seen Buff have a few temper tantrums lately, so that's good to see.
Terry, give him Gary. Just do it, man. For the good of the site.
Oh, Terry did send me a counter offer last night, by the way.
Miracles do occur.
It was Pritis, Robbie Gray, and Isaac Smith for Gary Ablett.
Are you serious?
I laughed in his face.
That is...
Before we get into more trouble, because we get enough admin
intervention
per week telling us to calm down a bit, we'll move along to your mob, Gold Coast, playing Fremantle.
Oh, yeah. That would be struggling if I lost this one.
Yeah, you'd really hope you win this one. You should do it quite easily. Your list,
pretty
you just
excellent.
You need an elite midfielder, mate.
I do. That is definitely true. I am trying to get one.
Yeah, you're going to try a bit harder. Just like Adelaide, plenty of holes in the 22.
That is true.
Yeah, you won't find that at West Coast.
Farron Ray and Kane Corn say different.
Ashton Hams.
Ashton Hams is far better than Farron Ray. Far better. Farito averages 70. He does alright. Clutching at straws a little bit.
Lummis' side will be good in a couple of years, providing he doesn't trade out his guns for more picks and goes around the vicious circle that he's been stuck in for the last 2 years. But this year's going to be another down year for him. He'll finish bottom 3 for sure.
Yeah.
As for your mob, just missing the 8.
Yep, I'll concur with that. Unless, of course, I kick it into gear, don't get knocked out too many times, and can make some decent trades. I'll probably be missing it this year. But I'll still be happy if my team averages over 85, and in our inaugural year, I think I'll be pretty happy with that if that's how it goes.
Yeah, 85s are pretty solid.
Yeah, position doesn't mean much in AFFL. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Alright, well, we'll move along to St Kilda and Collingwood. RB, once again, one of the coaches hasn't been on much lately. And Clichy. It should be a pretty easy, straightforward win for RB. Clichy's had some good scores. That's because these players are getting a crack like they're not going to get in the normal season. He is building an alright list, really, Clichy. We don't give him much credit for it, but
give him
he's
no
still
credit.
Another year or two off it.
Yeah, I think.
So yeah, I expect Collingwood to do this pretty easy. Scotty Pendlebury as captain, always a good start for you.
Yeah, I reckon this is going to be RB versus Dustin Martin. Really, that's pretty much how it's going to go down. Um, I think Cliche is probably the only one you can believe when he says he actually does have a 10-year captain. I don't really see him ever letting go of Dusty. But RB, I think his list is underrated. I think he's going places pretty soon. It'll probably even be a sneaky chance to get ninth spot or something like that. Not I doubt he'll push finals, but could definitely get a good run at a decent position this year. So see how he goes. St Kilda got some good blokes. Apparently, you've got a bit of an obsession with Clay Smith. So yeah, we'll.
Not that much.
Oh yeah, well I hear different.
He's a good bloke, but that's alright.
Well, yeah, I think he'll do okay. Cliche. I think in the future he'll do okay. This year he's probably going to be fighting with Lummers for the wooden spoon for the number 1 pick. But
Yeah.
see how he goes.
And if RB wants to turn it on and trade some of his kids out, his reserves is pretty handy. Really, he's got Doherty, Thomas Bug, McKernan, Lyle. There's some alright players in there, so he can easily turn up the scoring potential if he wants to.
Yep, agreed.
Alright, let's move along. Who the fuck's in the next game?
Good question. Internet's slowing down a little bit. Geelong and Richmond, finally a good game. Right.
Yeah. Terrible versus Spud.
Versus the mate raper.
This should be, for me, Geelong should win this. The list that Stoney left Terry with, you can't stuff it up that much. He's got the 2 best players in the comp pretty much at the moment, Ablett and Franklin. Their scores alone, being captaincy as well, it's going to be too much for Spud.
Yeah.
Spud doesn't really have any captaincy options if you look at it. He's got a lot of good mid-range players, but he lacks a bit in the elite department. But once again, if you don't trade much, that's going to happen.
Yeah, clearly need a bit of Chris Yarran injected into the team, and he hasn't really got that. I might just be setting like unrealistic expectations for the new guys, but I really hope that Terry would have tried and put his own mark on the side that Stoney left him. It's pretty much going to be Stoney's old team trying to make it to the 2012 flag. I'd really like to see Terry just really put his own sort of coaching style in and make a couple more trades and just get a bit more plays out the door and some more quality in.
What TBNB means by that is he wants Terrible to make a counter offer for once, and then he'd get more deals done, and his list would get better.
Always politically correct on AFFL radio. Alright. Yeah, something like that, I guess. I don't think. I mean, I actually got to deal with him. I got Delidio out of him, and that was painful, but not too bad. I didn't really realise that it was to the extent that it was when he told me that he'd want Robinson for McIntosh. But yeah, look, I think the biggest weakness that Geelong have, their list is probably good enough to go against Hawthorn and the Bulldogs, but I think the coach would be letting them down just a little bit. I think if they had a better coach, if they had a more experienced coach, I should say, that they'd definitely be right up there, probably the favourite.
Yeah, let's move along before we get in trouble. West Coast and North Melbourne. My mob. Bit of a shame that that wanker Tiprat isn't in anymore. I would have loved to beat him round 1. But that's alright, it's Wilso now. Hopefully he gets a few trades done pretty soon. What's your stance on our game?
Your mob, well, I think you made a couple of trades while I was gone, did you not? Well, when I was forcibly removed anyway. You've definitely improved quite a bit. Trading out those guns that you had has given your team a more sort of a more spread out kind of distribution of quality. Before you had a lot of holes in your team, and now I think trading out, guys like Martin and shit has helped you out a lot. keeping Scully, not too sure about that one. I think he'll definitely have a down year this year, and then he'll be right for 2013, 2014, that kind of range. Don't think he'll do too much this year. 85 maybe, I reckon. I'm not too sure how much higher he'll go than that. But move on from Scully. You've got a good forward line. I do like your forward line. Fasolo should do well as long as he doesn't wear the vest too much. And yeah, I think you'll have a pretty solid team. As much as I really hate doing that, I think you've got Will so pretty much covered.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like me to win, so it will be nice to get one away early. Hopefully, I can beat them. As for Tom Scully, the reason I'm not trading him is there's no point at the moment. As you said, he might average 85 this year. His value's not even close to where it can be. So,
but how do you know he's going to get back? Like, I mean,
pumps out a few hundreds. You watch.
No, he won't. He's a money-hungry, rubbish kid.
Exactly.
So why do you want him?
West Coast.
If you're going to keep true to the West Coast name, you might as well give him a couple of bags of heroin and speed.
Yeah, we have. So.
Oh, okay.
No, he's got heaps of money. So. Yeah, as for North Melbourne, can't get into their 22 too easily. Admin should look to fix that up for us. It's a bit annoying.
Yeah, I think I'd just say in Wilso's defence, he's actually been pretty busy lately, so he's been a bit quiet. I don't think has he made a trade yet? I'm not sure if he has, but
yeah, not sure.
Yeah,
I've made plenty of offers for Polari and Golby, but
Wilso, if you're listening, he's probably offered you Bailey in a fifth for your best players. Don't even listen to him, mate. He's just trying to take you for a bit of a ride. Does it to the best of us.
In fairness, it was Bailey in a fifth for a Colby player.
Poor form.
Bailey and a fifth still for sale if anyone wants him. Yeah, but no, his side's not too bad. He's got Cochin, Trengrove, Gaff, young Billy Smets, Liam Jones could be a good.
I don't think he's got Smets anymore. I'm pretty sure he traded him to Stoney.
Well, he should update his list then.
You should do your research. Get the research crew on the ball. Alright, let's move on. Port Adelaide and Brisbane. Christ. Are we going to talk too much about this game?
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. The team, we got
the man that can't update his list and the constant troller that is Stoney. And yes, Stoney, I did report you yesterday.
Well, Stipe's recent history would suggest that Port Adelaide aren't even going to rock up to this match. Yeah, look, they're really that bad that you probably couldn't even predict a winner. I mean, Stoney has like 3 playing forwards, I think, if that.
No, 2. Dawes and Motlop.
Ah, okay. Even Motlop's a bit of a stretch. Alright, Stipe, I think Stipe will have him. Stipe's done a decent job taking over the rabble that is Port Adelaide. Walker and Tippett probably on their own, probably be enough to knock over Stoney's mob. Yeah, he's always gone for the key position players that he's built around. So I think doing that here as well. I think he's got Talia and Bauer, and does he still have Pairs? He probably does.
Yeah, he does have Pairs.
Yeah, as well as Nick Nat and Walker and Tippett, he's got really good foundation there. Get a couple of smalls in through the draft next year, and he'll be right on his way.
Yeah, he will be. He's done a fairly good job with Port Adelaide. Once again, been a bit quiet lately. We just fucking pray to God that Port will show up for a game. They didn't show up to many last year, and they may have shown up to one pre-season game this year. So yeah, hopefully. And as for Brisbane, got to give Stoney a bit of credit. He's traded out, got a lot of first rounders in, brought in Bryce Gibbs. I think he'll be very smart with these picks. And towards the end of the season, when they got a bit of value, I can see him bringing in a few superstars with those picks. So he knows what he's doing, and he's doing it well.
Yeah, I'm not sure that there's too many people that really thought that he was going to hold on to those picks for too long, or even use one. I think it was pretty obvious the way he was going that he'd seen the value of picks, the overinflated value of picks, I should say, and decided to stock up and sell them at the business end of the year.
Yeah, bloody hell. Well, that was through everyone in round one. Hopefully your team has a win, except Wilso, who's phoned me. Hope you have a win next week. Yeah, it was good getting back on the air, and hopefully we can have another podcast for us next week.
Exactly. Oh, and like my page. My page is brilliant. It's just nobody likes it, so I need likes. Like it on Facebook. Shammy, get Facebook so you can like my page. Alright.
Shammy, get on Facebook because I want to see what you look like. Same with RB.
RB would be very interesting. We could probably post a thread on like what we think people actually look like on the site. I reckon that would be pretty funny. Alright. I reckon we'll cut it short there. Alright. See you next week. Laters.